Good morning, everybody. Rev here this morning. It is Saturday. We have finally reached the end of the week. I hope you're safe and well and blessed. I hope you've been a good witness for Jesus this week, and I'm praying that you are making plans for worship tomorrow, 9 o'clock in Verdon, 10:30 in Girard, and also 10:30 online. So I hope that you're making those plans, and I pray that I'll see you one place or the other tomorrow morning. I am reading this morning from 1 Samuel chapter 7. This once again is from the New Living Translation. Chapter 7, verse 10 is where I'm going to begin and read just a few verses from 1 Samuel. Just as Samuel was sacrificing the burnt offering, the Philistines arrived to attack Israel. But the Lord spoke with a mighty voice of thunder from heaven that day, and the Philistines were thrown into such confusion that the Israelites defeated them. The men of Israel chased them from Mizpah to a place below Beth-kar, slaughtering them along the way. Samuel then took a large stone and placed it between the towns of Mizpah and Jeshanah. He named it Ebenezer, which means the stone of help, for he said, "Up to this point the Lord has helped us." So the Philistines were subdued and didn't invade Israel again for some time. And throughout Samuel's lifetime, the Lord's powerful hand was raised against the Philistines. This is the word of God for the people of God. Thanks be to God. You know what this is? It's not a rock. It's a stone. Now, have you ever wondered what the difference is between a rock and a stone? Now, if I see this rock in the woods, or maybe even someplace else, wherever, it's called a rock. But if I take it from its natural place, and then I put it in my garden, then it's a stone. The rock itself hasn't changed, but it's what it's being used for has. That's why the name has changed. Now, why would someone want to keep a rock that they found? Well, for different reasons. Maybe it's to remind them of where they've been, or maybe it's to remind them of a special time or a special place. Maybe it's to remind them that something special has happened. I believe that God thinks stones are important. Look how many He made. I can't even count the number of stones that, if you go to the back part of my yard, there's stones everywhere. In the Bible, Samuel took a large stone, larger than this. He took a large stone and he placed it between the towns of Mizpah and Jeshanah. He even gave the stone a name. He named it Ebenezer, which means the stone of help. For he said, "Up to this point, the Lord has helped us." I just read that to you. Now, many times in the Bible, a stone or a pile of stones has been used as a reminder of how God has helped someone. Stories of Noah, stories of Joshua, stories of Jacob, and stories of Samuel, just a few. If you are old enough to write, which I'm sure you all are. It might be helpful to start writing down things that you pray for and ask God for, and then go back and write down how He has answered your prayer. Karen and I attended a church a few times back in our early days where they had two, I don't remember what they are, something on the wall, whether it was a tree or some kind of board or whatever. But it had over here, in fact, we did this for a while. We did it with banners. Prayers that were prayed were put on this side. And then when those prayers were answered, they got put on the other banner. It's kind of neat when you stop to see how many prayers that you had and how many prayers that had been answered. And I think it's helpful for us if we would start writing down, what prayers that we have prayed and how and when God has answered them. And as time goes on, then you can see how God has been faithful to answer your prayers. That prayer journal, if you will, could be a type of Ebenezer stone. An Ebenezer stone is anything that reminds you of how God has helped you. And there would be several along my journey in life. So let me encourage you to find a special stone or a special tablet where you can write things down. Put it in a special place that will remind you every day of God's faithfulness to you. I can't talk this morning. It'll remind you of His mercy, His forgiveness, and how He's always there to help you. I'm Pastor Mark. I love you guys. Be safe, be well, be blessed. Go do something for Jesus. And I'll see you tomorrow in worship.